Hallelujah. You have to bust loose. You have to bust loose from whatever that is holding you down. I pray that after today, you will discover yourself more. Some of you have so much inside of you that is just wrapped up. This is indeed the day you have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. We are rejoicing because the devil did not have his way to make this day. You made these days. Because you have made this day, we will embrace whatever that you have prepared for us today. And Father, we know that after all said and done, we'll be better for it in the name of Jesus. Holy Spirit, we invite you to come and be part of this meeting. We know you're already here. Come and talk to us individually. May we not be seated to hear for our neighbor. We are not here to hear for our brother or our sister. We are here to hear for ourselves. Have your way. Do what only you can do. And Father, I yield myself, even as I hide myself behind the cross. I ask that the utterances that be made through me will be acceptable unto you. In the mighty name of Jesus, we are praying. Praise the Lord. So, in the next few minutes, I'll be talking to us on self-leadership. And I'm a teacher. I'm a trainer. Okay, so this morning I'll be teaching, I'll be training at the same time. Your pastor will preach when it is time for him to preach. So, she said, get out your books, your pen, or whatever. Just take notes, points. What I do when I go to conferences to speak to young people, what I do is to tell them, write what you are going, the action word, not just hear it, because you hear a lot, you read a lot. But the problem is action. What do we do with what we hear? Okay, what are you going to do? Write it somewhere. What am I going to do with what I'm hearing today? And the best way to achieve that is to start immediately. So you put timeline. In the next 5 days, this is what I'm going to do. In the next 2 weeks, this is what I'm going to do. In the next 1 month, this is what I'm going to do. And if you put that, you'll be checking, in goal setting. You have set a goal already, so you'll be checking to know whether you're on course or you're not on course. So I'm made to talk on self-leadership. But before I go into self-leadership proper, I'll start with self-awareness. You can't lead yourself if you don't even know who you are. You can only lead yourself if you have been able to know who you are and which direction you are leading yourself. So I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I call the 5 concepts of self. In my slide, if it's ready, you can be showing them, but I'll run with it. 5 concepts of self. I have number 1, self-awareness. I have number 2, self-esteem. I have number 3, self-worth. Number 4, self-concept. Number 5, self-acceptance. And you say, what does that mean? What does that mean? Self-awareness is knowing who you are and being confident of who you are. A lot of us think that we know who we are, but we are not confident. That's why every road becomes a road for us. The next day, you are made up your mind on what to do. You see somebody going on a different road, you just follow them. And that is the problem of the young people. We follow people, peer pressure. You know, when we talk about peer pressure, people think it's just about teen. It's happening to even adults. See people trying to do things because other people are doing it. And you don't ask yourself, is that my path? Is that where I'm supposed to be going? Everybody have their lane. Everybody have their path. Like in a race, you run in your track. So that is what self-awareness is. Then what is self-esteem? Is how you see yourself. It's a different thing from self-awareness. How do you see yourself? You know the story of the spies that were sent. They came back and said that we are like grasshoppers. They didn't speak with the people. They are the one that took that decision by themselves. I just believe that we are like grasshoppers, so we can't take over the land. And that's what happened to a lot of young people. You just have this perception about yourself. No, they think I don't matter. They think I'm not intelligent. They think, what are you thinking? How do you see yourself? Because if you're able to know who you are and see yourself as God sees you, you'll be able to lead yourself, and you lead yourself aright. The problem of young people is leadership. Most times you are looking for who to lead us, but it will start from you, first of all, leading yourself. Then the next one is self-worth. It's based on the value placed on yourself. You place on yourself. Creative, how you choose to conduct yourself will determine how people will address you. How do you conduct yourself? How do you conduct yourself? What is your courage? How do you talk when you gather with people? How do you behave in a setting. Because people assess you by your conduct, by the way you react, by the things you do. That is self-worth. Then self-concept. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years? Where you see yourself in the few years to come in the future. That is self-concept. I just added self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is a higher level of self-esteem. It's a higher level of self-esteem. The way you see yourself, do you accept yourself for you? A lot of us don't accept ourselves. And that is where we have identity crisis. I'm going to be talking about identity crisis because identity crisis is what has engulfed the world, the young people. Somebody wake up and say, I'm not supposed to be a girl. You are created to be a girl. The next thing you say, no, I'm supposed to be a boy. Then they want to go and do some switch because they did not accept themselves. God does not make any mistake in creation. If you are created to be a man, he does not make any mistake. So there's identity crisis. It's a problem with the young people. And when I've had a lot of gay people, I have a lot of people, they bring them to me, oh, talk to them. And you realize that somewhere, somehow, somebody told them a lie. And they did not believe who God has made them to be. So they believe that, no, I'm supposed to be like this. So why did God make me this way? And they think there's a mistake. And they begin to have that crisis within them. And they want to make a change. Under self-awareness, who are you? 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9, we know that scripture, I'm a royal priesthood. We are royalty. You are royalty. Tell your neighbor, I am a royalty. You are royalty. You are special people. You have been called out. You have been called out of darkness. You have been called out of problem. You have been called out of low self-esteem. So you need to brace off and be whom God has called you to be. Whose report are you believing? Your friends come and tell you, no, you need to lose weight. You need to be very slim for you to be beautiful. Girls, I'm talking to you right now. And because of that, you don't eat anymore. And before you know, you start suffering from anorexia. That is a problem that of the young people. You see them having problem before you know it. It's killing young people. They don't eat. Because somebody told them, for you to be beautiful, that you need to be slim. Says who? I will tell young people, I will tell anybody fatter than me is too fat. Anybody slimmer than me is too slim. If you are taller than me, you are too tall. If you are shorter than me, you are too short. This is the best size, customized size that God created. And I want you to say that to yourself. Say that to yourself. You are the best. You are created uniquely for you. You cannot be another person. Why we are so confused, why we are having crisis is because you've not accepted yourself. And you believe for you to matter, you believe for you to be anything, you need to be like the other person. Says who? If everybody in the world is just one shape, the world will be very boring. If everybody in the world is talking like me, the world will be very boring. So you have your own sauce. You have your own spice. So spice of the world. Spice of the world. Is somebody following me? Are you following me? You know the story of Moses in Exodus chapter 2. Moses was born but taken to a different environment. What was the reason that would make Moses to go and kill? He knew who he was. He knew that he didn't belong to that setting. He knew, in spite of the fact that he was in the palace. He knew he was in the palace. But his people were the other people. He knew. Some of us, they take us to a different environment. The environment begins to affect us. We're supposed to be the thermostat. What does thermostat do? We regulate the environment. But some of us are like thermometer. You know thermometer, when they put it, you are sick, you go to the hospital, they put it. It will just show the temperature of your body. But thermostat regulates. If it's 10, it will regulate and bring everything to 10. Tell your neighbor, ask your neighbor, are you a thermostat? A thermometer. Do you know your personality type? You know, because I'm leading this to go into self-leadership. Because if you understand who you are, understand where you are going to, understand why God made you so unique, you'll be able to lead yourself. Leading yourself will not be a problem. When people tell you to come and follow them to a path that you know that does not belong to you, you will hush them. Because you already know where you are going to. Every road will not become a road to you. It will not become a road for you. You don't just carry your bag and go to the airport and you see your friend at the airport and your friend say, oh, I'm going to Medugri. Just join your friend and start going to Medugri. Where did you originally set out to go to? Where did you originally set out to go to? You should know where you are going. It is when you know where you are going, then you lead yourself to the place. You lead yourself to the place. So let's briefly, I know all of us know about personality type. I will not dwell there, just 2 minutes. I'll talk about a different personality types. And you see where I'm talking about our different personality types, because it's going to lead us, because I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence. I'm going to be talking about emotional intelligence because a lot of us are not emotionally intelligent. That is why we burst out, instead of busting loose to begin to do the things of God, we burst out doing the wrong thing. Because we don't even know, we can't put sense to our emotions. You know, when people define emotional intelligence, they put a lot of technical definitions. For me, emotional intelligence means putting sense to your emotion. Putting sense to your emotion. When you want to slap someone, I ask young people, why is it that when your mommy talk to you, you don't slap your mother? He said, because it's my mother. Why do you slap your friend? Because it's my friend. So you see the reasoning. If you put sense to it, that same thing that restrain you from slapping your mother can also restrain you for fighting or slapping your friend. So let's look at the different personality type. I'll just gloss through because I know all of you know about it. But I want it to lead us to something that I want to talk about. Of course, we know the choleric. How many of you know the choleric? How many of you are choleric here? So what are the qualities of the choleric? No, say something. Talk to me. You just raise your hands. Stand up, stand up. Yeah, you stand up and tell me. What are the qualities of choleric? Okay. Wow, that's just one. They have so many qualities. So for the benefit of those that meant, but okay, you want to say something? Oh yeah, say. Take the mic. Say something. We are preaching. We are talking together. I say I'm not preaching. We are teaching.
So I know that cholerics tend to be workaholics. They tend to focus very much on work. They can be bossy. They also tend to be ambiverts. So introverted extroverts.
Yes.
And they tend to have cliques. So they're very much and the introverts as well will have a bad side of being classist sometimes, or having a tendency to segregate against other people.
Okay, that's beautiful. Please, can you put your hands together for her? We're in a class. I said I'm a teacher. So, in addition to what you just said, choleric people are very, very goal-oriented. If you give them an assignment, they want to pursue it until you give. They don't want to give you an excuse. You know, there are people that when you give them an assignment, you know that they will come back with excuses. So such people, I avoid them. I won't even give you because you're going to waste my time. So I'd rather give it to somebody that will just take, if it's 1 hour that I want, you execute it within 1 hour and give me a result. Not if it's somebody that they will take it for 1 week and they'll come back with plenty excuses. And I said to people, young people, an excuse is just an excuse. Excuse is just an excuse. Then we have the sanguine. They are very playful, imaginative, talkative, sociable. Some of us fall under this. Many pastors are talkative. They talk. When we are in school, when we are young people, they are the ones that make noise. Anytime they write noisemakers, our name will be there. You know. And I'm saying that deliberate for you to see that whatever attribute you have, God will channel it to a cause that will going to be profitable to the society. You know, we'll make noise. There's no day they write noisemakers, my name will not be there. How? You know, but now I talk for a living. I talk, I'm a trainer, I'm a life coach, I talk. You know, I've channeled it into what it should be channeled into. And I'm saying that for you to check that thing that people are complaining about. See, God can turn it and channel it to something that is going to affect your world, that's going to affect your environment, and put food on your table. Am I making sense? Then we have the melancholy. They are very deep, detailed, respectful, tidy. They are the prim and proper. If they put something here, you remove it, they will fight you. They want neatness, they want everything arranged. No, those are the melancholic people. They are fond of, they like adventure, they like to take risks. Have you seen all those people that do car racing? I love car racing, that's my best sport. Very strange, right? Love car racing. I like that adrenaline rush, you know, those that kind of thing. Then we have the phlegmatic. They are the personality type that is very thoughtful, they are quiet. Every time they think a lot, attentive, controlled, and very diplomatic people. They know how to talk to you and, you know, communicate an idea with, you know, to you. They can talk to you to go to hell, and you're looking forward to going to hell because you think that it's a beautiful place that they just addressed. Those are the people. So, why am I talking about this personality type? I'm saying that to say to you that you are created uniquely. Don't despise your uniqueness. Don't despise your uniqueness. She talked about introverts. Introverts have their good parts. Extroverts have their bad parts. Both of them have their good and bad parts. You know, when sometimes they come and say some people are very quiet, some of them will come and say, I like to stay on. There's nothing wrong with staying on your own. The issue is that when you want to isolate yourself and stay on your own, what is the reason that you do that? You need to identify why you do that. Don't begin to envy the people that are the noise. We are the noisemakers. We make noise. I don't stay. Once I enter a place, you know that I've entered. How will I enter? You don't know I'm there. But some people will quietly go and hide. We are the people that when we come to a setting like this, I want to sit in front. You know, sometimes they said, oh, they want to show. No, that is their personality. I will not sit behind because if I stay behind, I will make noise. I won't know anything. So for me to follow this class, I will sit in front. Am I making sense? And some people will be talking down on you. Why do you like to sit in front? You like to show, well, this is who you are. And I'm saying that for you to accept you for you. If you don't accept you, nobody is going to accept you. Am I making sense? So you need to accept you for you. What are the dangers of self-awareness? Not being satisfied with who you are. You know, you have discovered who you are, but you're not satisfied. If you are not, it can affect your future. It can affect the kind of career you choose. Am I making sense? It will affect your career type, your choice. And it will make you to try to be who you are not meant to be. You might be caught up in performance trap. How many of you know what performance trap is? I will gloss through it. How do you develop self-awareness? Self-control. You have to develop self-control. Being able to know when to say yes, being able to know when to say no. And also, how you respond to issue. How do you respond to issue? When they give you an information now, how do you respond to it? Then, you know, I talked about identity crisis. This is where there is confusion and conflict in your identity. And you are in confused state on which direction to follow. You don't know whether you're a girl or a boy. If you see now, you say, no, I'm not so very sure. God made a mistake by creating me to be a girl. God does not make any mistake. Or because of some things, some pointers, or the people you're attracted to, you know, when you check them abroad, they will tell you, oh, that the girl, you know, when she was a girl, she liked toys for boys. That does not change anything. Just a little child. He doesn't even understand what you're talking about. How can a 2-year-old know the direction what he's choosing? So let's look at performance trap, and then I'll quickly delve into self-leadership to wrap up. What is performance trap? What is performance trap? It is a trap that you set for yourself, okay, that you must attain. A standard you set for yourself that you must attain for you to matter in the society. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 to 10. I won't read that. When you go home, go and read it because I have limited time and I have so much to say. What makes you matter? And I'm saying that to you. What makes you matter? What do you think makes you matter? Sometimes we think that what makes us matter is the university that we're attending, the course we are studying. Some of us are studying courses you're not even bold enough to share with your friends. Some of us are in certain universities you're not bold enough to share with your friends. You know, in those days, we have people that go to College of Technology or College of Education. When they come and they are not bold to share with people. Says who? The school that you go to does not define you. People go to those schools and they make up their mind when they come out, they are going to be whom God has told them to be. They are going to be whom God has told them to be. So the school, your parents, where you are coming from does not determine who you are supposed to be. It's come from you making a decision and understanding who you are and taking a decision that this is who I'm going to be and this is the direction I am going to go to. So let's look at some traps that have enclosed us. Remember we were talking about busting loose. Let's look at some traps that has put us in a shell. Number one, superstitious belief. Some superstitious beliefs where we are coming from has held us and has, you know, has just put us in a cage and has limited us and put a lot of limitation on us. Some of us believe that where you are coming from, people are not supposed to, you know, progress to a certain level. And you put that limit on you. Oh, your parents could not attain a certain level. You believe that you will not be able to attain that level. You believe that your parents don't have such money. Because they don't have such money, you already put a limitation, a lead on yourself. And you just believe that because they cannot afford to send you to a certain school, you cannot become who you want to be. Let me shock you. People are busting out. It doesn't matter who gave birth to them, whether they have money or not. It's self-determination. You ask me how. By determining, you begin to Study, people are studying, they are getting scholarship. They are getting scholarship because they want to break that lead that's been put on them. Then we have number 2. Some of the trap is when you have task over relationship trap. Task over relationship trap. This trap is overlooking the value of people. It's a trap. You don't value people that has been around you and you set your priority wrongly. So your relationship does not matter. If it means trampling on your relationship, you trample on them to achieve your goal. When you read some of these professionals, they write those kind of books. And we are Christians, we can't do that. They tell you to step on anybody to just get what you want, but it's not right. You need relationship in your ladder going up. You need it in your ladder coming up. Then we have status trap. Some of us will do anything to attain a status, and it's very rampant now. Everybody wants to be a musician. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. So whatever it will take to be a celebrity so that you matter. And this came about with the advent of social media. You know, where the world becomes so little, just in your palm you have the whole world. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. So whatever it will take, you do it, you don't care. So young people are killing people, doing a lot of things, and that is a trap from the pit of hell. It will not take you anywhere. Then we have the search for fame. I've talked about that. You just want to do anything to attain fame. Then we have work over rest. You work. Yes, you want to break poverty, so you work. You don't want to rest. It's a trap. There's a time also to rest. You can be a workaholic. There's time to rest to also attend to other things. There must be a balance. There must be a balance. And then we have ambition over contentment. So folks are so ambitious. They are insatiable. You are so ambitious, you are insatiable. Yes, it's good to set a goal to go to the next level, but there is a process. There is a process. Oh, it's unfortunate that the young people were the microwave generation. We want it done now. You want to be rich, you want it now. People take a process. You take a process. When I graduated from university, it took me 4 years to get a job. You know, when I tell people now, they don't believe it. It took me 4 good years after graduation to get a job. And I'm talking about, they think it's only now. He's been there looking for a job. I waited for 4 good years. I graduated, I did youth service 97, 98. I started working in the bank 2002. And why am I saying that? If you follow the process, God will collapse time for you. And by the time I started working in the bank, I was getting promotion twice in a year. Getting promotion twice in a year because I knew who I am and knew who I was. So, your identity, what is it based on? Is it based on what you have? Is it based on the fame? Is it based on the school? Is it based on who your parents are? If you have ever based your identity or your grade in school, some of us, it's our grade that has given us identity. I'm very intelligent. So you talk down on everybody. See, sometimes some of the things that you hold there can be taken away from you. One day I woke up, everything I hold there was taken away from me. I am telling you. Maybe I'll tell you that story. Some of us, when they take away certain things from us, we are nobody. But my question is, when they take away that university, they take away those things that have made you to feel that you're somebody. Who are you? Who are you when all those things is taken away is the real you? Am I making sense? That is who you are. So, I'll quickly jump. Of course, okay, let me gloss through the symptoms. Maybe some of us are caught up in the trap and you don't even know. I will just go through it. Perfectionism. Anytime you want it to be perfect, that is a symptom of self-trap. You are just entrapped yourself. Remember, we're talking about busting loose. You are caught up in that trap of being a perfectionist. You don't have to be perfect. We are in a process. Then number 2, you avoid risk. When they tell you to try something, in bank, I was a banker, okay? And that's what we call risk management. Risk management is the department, the portfolio that give out loan to people. Anytime you give out money to people, it's a risk. The possibility of them not returning it is very high. In fact, when your friends come and say, oh boy, give me 2K, do they return it? They don't return it. When you go, they will abuse you. Is it common 2K that you are coming back? But when they wanted it, they will beg you, please give me, I will give you tomorrow. They don't return. That is a risk. That is a risk. So, when you avoid risk as a human being, you are caught up in a performance trap. Number 3, anger and resentment. Some of you are angry from circumstances, things that happen to you. Maybe you lost a loved one or where you are coming from. You are angry. Some of us, I go to Twitter, I see young people asking, why is it that my parents gave back to me? When their parents are challenging them, why are you not doing well? You say, your mates, are they not Dangote? Why are you asking? Your mates are Dangote. That is, it's very funny. It's just very funny. So you're angry with your parents. So of course, now everybody wants to Japa. So you're angry of being a Nigerian. See, accept where you are. Make the best of it. We are the ones that are going to change Nigeria. Somebody will not say amen to that. Then pride. So of course, pride is a sign. Depression. When you are depressed, you are caught up in a trap, a performance trap. Fake lifestyle. That is very young, rampant with the young people. Low motivation. You are not motivated. Go to school, you don't want to go. Like strike has been there. You don't even want to go back again. Then addiction. Those are the things that will hold you bound. Illicit relationship. That can never be overemphasized. Having a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, having sex, and all that. This is not the time until when you are married. If you are married, it's a safe place to do that. It's a safe place to do that. So I was saying all this to delve into self-leadership. They are all under self-leadership, but I want to wrap it up by talking about self-leadership. What is self-leadership? It's the ability to lead yourself to achieve your personal and professional goals and objectives. What are your goals and objectives? Your ability to lead yourself to achieve it. You set out an objective that you want to be a chemical engineer or a mechanical engineer. Your ability to lead yourself towards that goal and achieve it, that is self-leadership. Your ability to lead yourself by saying that I'm not going to fight again, I'm not going to steal, I'm not going to take alcohol or be addicted to anything. If you're able to say no to it, that's self-leadership. But if those things are ruling you, today you make up your mind you're not going to do something, tomorrow you do it again, then there's a problem. You are not able to lead yourself. And once you cannot lead yourself, you can't lead anybody. Leading people starts with you leading yourself, with you saying no to those things that are challenging you, that are very negative. That is, if you're able to say no to them, that is self-leadership. Why is self-leadership important? Self-leadership is important because it's necessary to help you accomplish your personal and professional goals. Do you set goals in the beginning of the year? Did you set goals for yourself? It is self-leadership that will help you to accomplish the goals that you set. Some of us, do New Year resolution. But I'm not a resolution. People who do it on the 1st of January. By 10th of January, they've already stopped. For the strong ones, by February, they've already forgotten about it. But it's self-leadership that will help you to do what you say you do. Whatever you say you do it. That is self-leadership. It is self-leadership. Self-leadership makes you more confident and productive. It makes you an efficient person. It keeps you motivated and accountable. Are you accountable to anyone? Are you the type that your parents want to talk to you? You say, no, they shouldn't talk to you. They are old school. If you are in that category, that your parents or authority, your leaders cannot talk to you, then you have problem with self-leadership. Anytime somebody wants to correct you, you ask them, who made you the judge? Who made you? Because what you see now, when you want to correct people, they say, hey, they are judging everybody. When we are growing up, everybody train us. People can see you on the road and correct you. Of course, we can't do that right now. But the moment you don't have authority cannot talk to you, your parents cannot talk to you, it means that you are lacking self-leadership. Then when you are inspired to follow the leader, then you are intact with your leadership. Self-leadership makes you, I've talked about that, efficient and productive. It makes you very efficient. Are you a productive person? If you are in a team, when you are taken away, would they miss you? Or you are the type that when you are in a team, the moment you are not there, they are happy that you are not there. Self-leadership helps you to build stronger relationship. What is your relationship, interpersonal relationship with people? Communication, how do you talk with people? How do you communicate with people? The way you talk to people, the way you relate with people will determine the kind of leader you are to yourself. Some of us are very abrasive, very harsh, very harsh. So when people want to talk to you, they are thinking about it, they rehearse it because they are afraid of your response. Self-leadership inspires people to follow you. When you can lead yourself, people will naturally just follow you. What are the skills for self-leadership? We have already talked about self-awareness, motivation, decision-making. If you can lead yourself, it helps you to make decisions appropriately. Some of us have problem of choices. We have problem of choices, we have problem of decision. So at any point, you see us confused. And when we are confused, we are not looking for who to lead us. And unfortunately, the wrong people tell us what to do. The wrong people tell us what to do. I've talked about decision. Let me talk a little bit about decision making. It is very important for you to have strong decision making skills. At this age, it's good for you to have strong decision making skills. Decision, you have not married, who to marry, decision, where to work if you have graduated, decision, or to do different things that is going to take you, we talk about self-concept, where you want to see yourself. It is this strong decision-making point, that will help you to be able to know how to navigate your way to the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years' time. Influence. Influence is another core characteristic of self-leadership. When they say somebody is very influential, Daddy Gio. Daddy Gio doesn't talk more, but it's very influential. What do you think has happened? It's self-leadership. He has antecedents. People can follow the track record and you just follow him. He naturally leads people, whether you are the member of Redeem, he's leading the Church of Christ. Everybody somehow just align. He didn't tell anybody to follow him. No, that is influence. Influence is something that you have to build. You say, how do you build influence? Your character, your conduct, the way you lead yourself will make you an influential person. And that happens at the moment you are taken to a place, people will naturally just gravitate to you and tell you to lead them. So we have social skills. Do you relate to people properly? It's another aspect, skills of self-leadership. You relate to people very well. You carry everybody along. You are not harsh to people. Then we have what we call self-regulation. When you regulate AC, if the AC is in 20, you can regulate it to tune it to 15, right? So if you have self-regulation, do you know how to regulate yourself? Do you know how to, just like you regulate that AC, you know when to bust out, you know when to calm down. People are telling you, calm down, calm down. You know that, yes, I will listen to them and calm down. And that's, takes me to talk about briefly on emotional intelligence. I will talk about that before I wrap up. Then accountability. If you're accountable to somebody, if you're accountable to authority, if you're accountable to your parents, it shows self-leadership. Am I speaking to someone? When you are going, there's nobody, you're like a city without wall. A city without wall. Ladies, a city without wall. It means that your wall is broken. Anybody can penetrate it. You are not accountable. Any guy will come and penetrate it. It means that you are not accountable. There should be wall. There should be accountable. Somebody can question you, ask you, and you don't get angry. Because they see you as somebody that's responsible, and they can ask you, who is this person around you? Why are you doing this? These days and age, we are so afraid to question the young people. Because they will abuse you and ask you whether you are their mother. Who made you my mother? But if you have self-leadership, you can submit yourself to be accountable, and the people you are accountable will guide you so that you don't make mistake that they make. They say the experience is the best teacher, and I disagree with that. Experience is not the best teacher. Who is the best teacher? Other people's experience. You don't have to go and fail it. Because when I talk to your people, when you're talking about certain things, you say, Auntie, but you did it, allow us to do it. Who told you that you survive? Some of us did it and we survived, that God showed us mercy. Well, the people that God showed mercy, and we gave our life to Christ. Some of my friends, most of them died in school. They shot them, they killed them. I have so many of my friends died in Unica. Unica was a hub of cultism. Okay. And a lot of my friends died. But here I am today, I'm a pastor, but they've died. So when you are following those friends, they might make it, you might not make it. So it's better you learn from people's experience. Don't go and use yourself as an experiment. Don't use yourself as an experiment. I don't know what you have heard on this section. I don't know what you have heard. So, I was talking about emotional intelligence. I'm going to be wrapping up with emotional intelligence. And because it's very important in self-leadership. Emotional intelligence is a strong people's skills. It's a behavioral skills that you need to get for you to be able to matter, for you to be able to break through even top organization. If you have emotional intelligence, as a person you have in your kitty, you'll be able to penetrate. You can talk to people that everybody is afraid of talking to, and they will yield to you, and they're asking, what did you do? They think you're a magician. It's just that you've understood the concept of emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? I've already explained. It says just putting sense to your emotion. I'll run. What are the 5 characteristics of emotional intelligent people? They are change agents. They are not afraid of taking a challenge. They are not afraid of taking risk. They are self-aware. We talked about self-awareness. They are very empathic. They know how to relate with others. They are balanced. You need to be balanced as a Christian. You need to be balanced. You know when to play. You know when to read. You know when to pray. So you're a balanced young person. They are very glorious people. Very positive. Half glass full. Not the people that when you put water in the glass, you ask them, what did you say? He says half glass empty. They are very positive-minded people. Emotional intelligence in leadership. You know, we are talking about leadership. We've talked about self-awareness, knowing who you are. Knowing who you are. Knowing who you are is that thing that will make you say no to certain things. I remember when I went to university, and of course I went as a novice, didn't know anything, came from the village to University of Calabar, and there was a party. Everybody was going for this party, and I wanted to go. You know, I know that my father will not be alive, you know, to just be around, and I want to go for how. I wasn't raised like that. I was raised by teachers, and of course when I came back, when they dropped me, I was tiptoeing as if my dad was somewhere. He was not there. He was somewhere in his house. You know, what is that was making me do that? It's the way I was raised. It's the way I was raised. Some of us, what are our values? Our value system is being broken down. That as you know, we don't have personal value. It is your personal value that determines who comes to you, ladies. It is your value that determines the man that comes to marry you. It is your value that determines even the kind of job that you decide to do. Not the one that, oh, I'm hungry, say any job you want to go and do. The next thing, they are recruiting you to go and sell alcohol and buy. You want to take it, and you know that maybe it does not align with your value. If it aligns with your value, go ahead. Our value system is so broken down. It's so broken down. So, what are the time strategies to manage negative emotions under self-awareness? What I call compartmentalization. How do you do that? There's compartments. Number 1, number 2, number 3. You know where to put this friend. You know when there's different compartments. You know, like in a house, there are different rooms. You know when to do what. You don't mix up things. It will help you in life. Don't break the boundaries. Don't break the walls. Okay? Don't break the walls. Some of us have that problem of managing negative emotions. When we are angry, you burst out, you are breaking things. What do? You know, you can skip. Practice what we call deep breathing. Then you want to respond to that text. Somebody send you a bad text. Type it, don't send it. Type it, clean it, type it, clean it, type it. As you are doing that, your temper is doing what? Coming down. Sometimes you leave it and sleep. You show it to somebody to read it before you send it. It means that your emotions is under control. Am I making sense? Don't just, you send it immediately. Don't be temperamental. Okay? Then channel your anger to something productive. Some people are very angry, but they are channeling it to something very productive. You go to a place, you don't like the way this place is looking, it's dirty. You can bring a broom and start sweeping. Abi? So channel your anger. In the morning, go and exercise. Instead of beating your sister, go and do boxing. Go to the, what is that called that place? Go and carry that thing and start boxing it. Channel it into it. It will help you to build muscles, guys. You know? It will help you to build muscles. Know the things that trigger you and avoid it. Don't know that this thing will trigger me to get angry. Avoid it. You know that friend that whenever you are together, the person will get you angry. Avoid that kind of relationship. Avoid such friendship. Okay? Then, in case you burst out negatively, learn to apologize. There's no harm in apologizing. Then, under number 2, we have self-regulation. I've talked about that before. Leaders who regulate themselves effectively, verbal, they rarely attack people. If you regulate yourself, you don't want to regulate yourself, you keep quiet. When they say to you, you keep quiet and walk away when it is important. I've talked about knowing your value, holding yourself accountable, practicing calmness. Then motivation. Do you self-motivate yourself? Do you know how to self-motivate yourself? If nobody praises you, do you know how to praise yourself? It's a therapy. You go to the mirror and begin to praise yourself. I call myself, Uloma, you are the most beautiful girl on earth. It's only you that don't know me. I know that. I'm the most beautiful. You know, because somebody have just told you you are ugly, you are this. Go to the mirror and look at yourself. Begin to talk to yourself in the mirror and motivate yourself. Do you know that will ginger you up to begin to take up new challenges, to begin to realize that you're not a failure. Some of us are so built nest on failures, and that is why we are not breaking out. That's why we are not busting out to be able to achieve what God has set out for us to achieve in life. The next one is empathy. Do you show empathy to people? For leaders, having empathy is a critical aspect of life. When you are able to show empathy, managing, it helps you to manage people. As a leader, you must be somebody that understands people that you are leading. You know their feeling. Don't just, when people tell you they are not feeling well, you feel that it's not something important. You should pause and ask them, how are you doing? You should pause and show empathy. Don't just say, hey, yeah, and leave it like that. What can you do? Can you help to give them paracetamol if there's a need for that? That is empathy. Then social skills. Leaders who do well in social skills, element of emotional intelligence, are very good communicators. Learn how to talk. Learn how to talk. There's what we call sandwich approach. You want to tell somebody that their mouth is smelly, you don't just hit it and say it to them. You know sandwich, where you have the hard bread, you have the sandwich in the middle. You first of all tell them how they are looking so nice, they be so beautiful. You now tell them, which toothbrush or toothpaste are you using? In a nice way. I think that toothpaste is not working. Don't just go and tell them, oh boy, come on, your mouth, they smell. It will not, it might damage that relationship. You must learn to have sandwich approach. Okay? So learn the skill for conflict resolution. How do you resolve conflict with your friends? How to improve your emotional intelligence. I'll run through it. Do a self-evaluation. Try out your emotional intelligence. There's a quiz. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do I react when people get me upset? Examine how you react to stressful situation. Accountability, I've talked about. Are you accountable to anybody? Can your friends, criticize you and you don't bust out? How do you build accountability? Know your role, be honest, learn how to say, I am sorry. Okay? Examine your actions that will affect others. If you have actions that will affect people negatively, don't do it. Don't do it. How do you improve emotional intelligence? Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. How do you do that? Get out of your comfort zone. I've been speaking just to let you know that for you to lead yourself, you have to first of all accept yourself. Accept yourself for you. And you don't owe anybody apology for being you. Am I making sense? But that does not mean, when we say that people think, okay, have bad character and you are not going to change. No. Accept yourself. Discover the negative things about you and put out a process to work on yourself so that you can be better. There'll be a better version of you. So are you promising to become a better version of you? Who is making that commitment? To become a better version of you. Because there's a better version of you somewhere. But first of all, for you to get there, you have to accept yourself. Like I started saying, you are the best that God created. Don't let anybody talk you down. Don't let anybody put aspersion on you. Don't let anybody tell you it does not matter. You matter a lot to God. And God has created you to make an impact. So the question is, are you going to lead yourself to be able to make that impact? God bless you. Okay. So the next section now is, what's that? So we're going to be breaking out, we'll be discussing, because I've been talking too much English, and I know a lot of us are, I'm coming down so that we can break out and I'll tell us what we're going to do. We talked about self-leadership. And I said that for you to lead others, I want to know people that are good leaders now. I want us to have 2 classes now, and I want 2 leaders to appoint themselves quickly. We're going to have 2 classes now for the breakout. 1 section here, 1 section. I want 2 volunteers leaders, and I will tell them what to do. We have just how many minutes for this? 10 minutes. So let's be fast. Somebody has already volunteered. Ladies, all my ladies, where are you? Are we slacking? Okay. So the leaders come to the front. It's a breakout section we are having. We discussed 2 topics. What did we discuss? We discussed a lot of things that I just put them together. What did we discuss? Self-leadership. What are different aspects of it we discussed? Self-awareness. So in your class now, okay, it means that this side is the one class. This class is bigger than here now. So we just go on like that. Okay. I want us, I talked about self-awareness. So I want us to discuss the challenges. If they understood what self-awareness is, I want us to discuss the challenges they have personally. So we're personalizing it. The same thing with the leader here. Just comes because we're not going to use mic so that we'll not disturb the other class. Come this way. So we talked about self-awareness. And here we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. I want to know the different challenges they have personally with handling their negative emotions. Because I know young people, sometimes when we have issues, that control is a problem. So let's go on. So you're in charge of the class. You're in charge of the. So you're my moderators. Come here so that they will hear you.